Society on several occasions has excluded the elderly, a social group that suffers the risk of being left alone and isolated, without social events or spaces to satisfy their needs, being reduced to the interior of the house. This situation has been aggravated by the COVID, when many Russian elderly have been isolated and confined inside their homes without relating, in addition to the impossibility of carrying out their routines in their homes and having their basic needs covered. The project arises as a response to this prevailing need of recent times, a residential and therapeutic space and coexistence for the elderly population, seeking the relationship between different users and generations due to the benefits that this can bring to the resident. The project is implanted in the current Guest One, a space with an industrial character dedicated until now to a power station and in a privileged position in the historic center of the city of Moscow. The implementation of the intergenerational center in Guest One humanized the industrial space, generating programmatic islands from the encapsulation of the program, all connected and articulated by the public space. And on the other hand, under Wasser's the five skins theory is applied. This has been already used for the characterization of the pre-existing factory and later for each of the parts of the program that are introduced. This theory represents the identity of a person or space based on 5 layers of information: epidermis, clothes, houses, identity, and land. The new Guest One Center is located on the north volume and on the cross-section of the pre-existence. General volumetry is conceived as a twin between the existing guest and the extension, seeking to maintain the industrial character and unity in the entire volume. The entrance to the center is through the south face, accessing a garden greenhouse, being the articulating element of the space and the meeting point of the users and an acclimatized public space for the environment. The interior is organized through the covered garden. On its margins, the programmatic capsules appear, with secondary access to the different spaces. The capsules are stacked in height, seeking to free up the greatest amount of floor space. These capsules are interconnected by light walkways that maintain a constant connection with the garden and which are accessible by a central staircase of great presence. The program generates a public-private gradient and consists of a residential area, a recreational space, a therapeutic area, and a professional area. The residential spaces are placed in the farthest area from the access. On the other hand, the space for professionals and the therapeutic area are placed in the closest, since it's used for internal and external users. The residential space is generated through housing units between 8 to 12 people, with individual rest cells, views toward the city of Moscow, and access through the walkways, located around the shared common spaces, thus generating the housing cell. The recreation space contains a restaurant and a multipurpose area on the first floor, relating to the therapeutic space, with independent access for external users. Also, in the first floor are located the consultation rooms. On the ground floor are located the Russian baths with sauna and swimming pool. The architecture of the capsules is resolved by means of a metallic structure and polycarbonate enclosure, with the exception of the common spaces of the housing cells where the prototype is implanted, an intelligent glass that regulates the level of privacy. The space maintains the existing facade in the north volume and modifies its roof, generating a crystalline gabled enclosure. The extension is solved with the same section, but simulating a greenhouse with a metal and glass structure.